All right. Three, two, one. Welcome to Real Estate Radio TV for a new interview. In today's interview, we have joined to welcome Andrew Manziak, the co-founder of Phuket Real Estate, a Phuket rent mix agency, to talk to us a little bit about their real estate agency and the current real estate market in Phuket. How are you today?
Good afternoon, good evening, Tagdal. I am fine, thank you. Thank you that you invite me for this interview. I'm glad to share a little bit more about Phuket and their lifestyle here and the investment process. I suppose that it would be interesting for your listeners.
It's a pleasure. So to start off, could you maybe talk a little bit about your agency and why did you decide to base yourself in Phuket? Because from what I heard, you're not originally from Phuket.
Yeah, before I was traveling, same like everyone, to Thailand, Phuket, and in 2012, I decided that over the last years that I were spending my holidays in Phuket, I decided that this is my place where I would like to stay longer than regular tourist and start my business. So in 2012, I moved here, and first I was making rental business, and it was quite interesting because my I am economist, so it was
Mm.
like absolutely new kind of work for me. And naturally, when we have start our rental, we understood that Phuket is growing very fast, and a lot of developers are coming to the market, and even all the our tourists that were coming for the holidays, they were interesting to make some investment and buy
Mm.
their own apartment or villa in Phuket, and they were asking us if it's possible to buy something and what is the process of this purchasing. So we start to develop more this sphere of our business. And we were right because it's was extremely high growth of the development at Phuket over the last years that I were living there. Same like I suppose 7 years already we are selling the hotels, uh, like ready business in Phuket, residentials, villas, apartments for the private use or for the resale. So something like this.
And so for our listeners, could you tell us maybe where is located Phuket from a global perspective and also a strategic one?
Uh, as you know, the Phuket is one of the islands, Thailand islands, and this is the biggest island in Thailand. It's situated on the southeast of Asia. Before Phuket was actually like the part of Thailand. I
Mm.
suppose it was 1,000 years ago. Then it separated
The mainland?
from the main island of Thailand, and it became like the island, and it's connected with the bridge with the main land. Now currently you see that it's became one of the most popular tourist. I mean, before COVID, of course, it was the very popular place for the holidays. I suppose because of the connections with the um, main players, like we can say, on the southeast of Asia, because there are a lot of direct flights from Singapore, from Australia, from China, from Hong Kong, and from Europe. And as I know from USA as well,
Mm.
from Bangkok, they have many connections between Bangkok and Phuket. Bangkok, this is, we call it Suvarnabhumi airport. So this is the one of the biggest airport in the Southeast Asia. So it's connect with Phuket very closely. the last 3 years, it was a reconstruction of Phuket Airport, and it became one of the international airports as well. So it's landing a lot of flights from international companies, air companies. I suppose that also about the tourists, that was quite interesting. Not only like direct flights from the Europe or from countries that I told you, but also the you know, people that are living Thai people there. Everyone knows that they're very open to the tourism, and actually there is this is the truth. They're very uh, light and smiley people. That's why I think this is the most also the popularity of tourism
Mm.
in Phuket.
And so you just mentioned COVID. Were you impacted in Phuket COVID, and also were you impacted from a tourism standpoint? And do you see still any restriction in place or no?
Uh, yes, it was quite huge restrictions during the peak of the COVID, because Thai government, it started around 1 year and 8 months before it was the end of the peak season. It was February 2019, when it was like starting, and Thai government, they close borders at all to everyone,
Okay.
and no tourists were in even in Bangkok, and the borders with Phuket were closed as well. So during the peak of the COVID in Phuket, we have Phuket is around 1 million people living here. We have during the peak is around maximum it was five illness during this time, and after COVID has going down, Thai government, they decided that they need to open Phuket for the international flights, for the international tourism, and they make like a program, the name of 7/7. 7/7. This is 7 days of the tourists there that are vaccinated. They can come to Phuket. They can stay. They have to make booking of the hotel, especially because there are some list of the hotels where the all staff are vaccinated as well. So they can come for 7 days and then move to Samui, for example. So that's why it's called 7/7. 7 days at Phuket and 7 days at Samui. If you would like before it, like it was so for 14 days holidays. Also, they provide 14 days stay in the hotel for the vaccinated tourists at Phuket. And after 14 days, tourists can stay longer anywhere they want
Mm.
after 14 days, because before it was like strictly quarantine. If you are coming to Phuket, you have to stay only at Phuket, at the hotel territory, and you cannot go out. So
Yeah.
now
So.
it's always possible to go out and go anywhere you would like, but you will have to pass 2 times COVID test at the hotel,
Mm.
and after 14 days you can go anywhere you want. So this is like the stage of the COVID now, if you can
Yeah,
say.
it's coming back slowly but surely. And so, kind of, talking about your firm, do you have any specialty when it comes to your firm? Maybe finding, rental properties for tourists like Airbnbs, or specializing in helping investors actually invest in the pocket market, or selling primary residence, or you guys kind of do a little bit of everything?
Yeah, same like I told you before, we were starting working by like a rental agency, travel actually agency, because we were suggesting travelers, our tourists, also the excursions. So we were having business with rental, and we have very big base of the rental. So after that, when we start to sell for the investors, Of course, most of them they were asking us to make management of their
Right.
property, and during the time when they are going back to their countries, we take care about the apartment and make rental for them. We are
Short-term
using
rental?
making everything short rental period and for a long period, all the rates we have, and same like all travel agencies. So we are using Airbnb and Agada and HomeAway, Booking.com, and
So all the main
all
platforms.
these platforms, besides of course of our website, where we have our clients that they know us from year to year, so they are coming and know that we suggest some apartments, villas for them, and hotels as well for their stay at Phuket. This is like our second part of our business that was starting from the beginning. But now also we are looking for the opportunities to show the investors the Phuket, and tell them more deeply what is the interest for them to buy some property, and then resell it after the construction, because there are a few how to branches how you can invest in Phuket, but maybe I will tell you a little bit later about this.
And so, talking about new developments, you mentioned new developments early in the interview. Is there currently any opportunities for international developers, investors to enter the pocket market and maybe develop, hotels, tourism residences,
Uh, yes, it's actually, Phuket currently, Thai government decided that they will open Phuket for the world, and make it like something like Hong Kong in China. It will be some area where the business will have very small taxes, and in this way they will increase the investments in Phuket. Currently, if investor, for example, big investor comes to the market, and if he invests for 100 million baht, it's around $3 million in some project, for example, hotel or residence complex. The investor, he get direct like residence of
mm.
the talent, so
Oh, okay.
he will not have to buy some will not have to make a visa or uh,
Yeah,
like
he
renew
gets.
their stay his stay in Thailand. And more normally, there are a big flow of investors from China, currently from China, from Hong Kong, from Australia, from Europe, Italy, UK, and Russia. This is like the main players, the main investors, where they coming from to Phuket, because it was very popular tourist places, tourist location for them before, and that's why they decided. They became like naturally to become one of the main the investor resources to Phuket. Normally, if you are buying something in Phuket, you can buy it like business buyer. You can buy some hotel, or you can buy some hotel. You can. There are some stages also for the buying land, taking the architecture bureau, and you can create your own project. The second
Right.
one, this is the buying of the villas uh,
Mm.
for investments for the rental program and apartments. So our main structure is villas, apartments, and hotels. So we suggest or resale, or buying and full construction of the hotel, or resale and or buying villas and apartments. So the main like if investors, they're interesting how they can get income for the investors investments. So we separated for the three main branches. First one, this is the when you buy something and then you resell. You are buying, for example, some apartment or villa on the stage of construction, and then you resell it
All
when
right,
the
kind of
construction
like
is.
a fix and flip a little
Yep.
bit.
Then the second one, if you are buying some property and give it to the rental or the management company from the developers, because many developers they suggest to the investors like program during, for example, 5 years, you get 7% of income during annually, and after 5 years, developer company they buy your property back, and during this 5 years you just get income and then sell it. And the third one is when you are buying some property and you want to rent and get income by yourself, so you can give it like our investors, they buy it and then they give under our management, like our like travel agency, so we can take care about the property, the villa, make it rental, and they are more flexible in their period of stay, for example,
Mm,
when like to come, because they make management like by themselves, not by themselves, by our company, but it's more flexible than
mm.
to make rental with the developing company.
All right. So three different types of investment: either new development investing or fix and flipping. The second, what we could call is maybe a lease back, where you buy a property, you can lease them back to the developer that's gonna buy it in a given period, 5 to 7 years, for example. And then the third investment is just purchasing rental properties and then finding a good property and asset management team that's gonna overview the asset and make sure it's rented and all that. Am I right?
Yes, correct. And the fourth one, of course, if you would like to buy property and use it
Yes,
only personally for your for your own.
of course. And so, it's important before investing in a certain market, in a certain country, to kind of understand the purchase process. So, what is the purchase process in Phuket? And also, do you have a whole team of, attorneys, bankers, kind of to make the investment simpler for, international investors?
Yes, currently we have two lawyers and our accounting department with two accountants. They are making control of the all registrations and taxes for us and for our clients.
Mm,
And especially, it's very important during the period when you are searching for some property and signing agreement with the developer, because it's very important to figure out all the details uh, at the period before you buy
yes,
it.
of course.
Even before you, because actually when you are buying something in Phuket, not even Phuket, Thailand, mostly you are separating all the payments. So during the period of construction, it's very strictly uh, how you have to pay during all the period of the construction of your property. So in these cases, the investors they are protected because they will pay only after some period of construction will be finished. And during this period, when investors they go out to their country and they would like to control, we are going every time to make the video and show them their process or the construction. If, for example, developer don't make it by himself, because sometimes developers they show the make photos or video the process of the developing. So we are using even we have our cleaning team, because during the period of stay, when some clients coming and check out, they we need to make cleaning and
Right,
maintaining
of
of the
course.
apartments. So we have a few of companies that take care about also the companies, the apartments or villas.
So kind of like an all-around service from the legal aspect of the investment to the day-to-day operation, like cleaning services, property management, advertisement on all domain sites to basically get short-term rentals and also long-term rentals if that's what the investors are looking for. And so, how easy to get access to banks and debt financing in Phuket?
If, for example, you would like to buy some property in the new project, you will have direct connections with the developer. So if you are buying, for example, using our services, our agency have the agreements with all the developers at Phuket, and we choose the right object for the investor, and then during the payment period, all the payments would be directly through the developer.
Mm.
So you choose the object like investor, and then all the payments you will have to make during the accounts of the developer accounts. If you have some investors, they have cash, they can bring it. This is also no problems for the developers, but you need to show how you get this money.
Right,
Uh,
where it's coming from.
Most of the cases. If even some, some investors, they give us their cards, and they said that you can take my, I will put money on this account and you will take by cash, and will give to the investors, to the developer. It would be easier, but this is very rarely because mostly investors, they want to have direct connections with the
Right, of course.
developer.
And so, for example, let's say I want to buy a rental property, a villa to basically rent it. Can I get any financing from the bank? Let's say if I put like 30% down, can I get like a 70% financing if I'm an international investor with maybe local banks in pocket?
You can get you mean if you can get some
A
support
loan,
from
a loan, for example. Let's say, you don't want to pay cash for the property, so, basically you buy a rental property, you put 30% down. Can you get like a loan from the bank for the rest, for the 70% or no?
yeah, sure, it's but this is from the also from the developer. If you make a payment, for example, 30% first, so you can get from the developer discount for the rest payment. This is normal practice here as well.
Okay, and so, it's important, I think, to kind of understand, Phuket, what's like the economy of Phuket and kind of like the way of life. Like, what does the economy rely on? Is it only tourism or is there any, other economies?
Uh, Phuket economy, this is for 80%, this is tourism.
All right.
And the last 20%, this is the practice connected with the tourism. And also this is the industry of mm, rub. I don't know how to. Uh, in Phuket, there are a few factories where there are production of caoutchouc.
Coach, I don't know what it is. So, we could say 80% tourism and then 20% industrial, the making of different products. So the main economy here is obviously tourism.
Yeah, for sure. For 80%, this is tourism and everything, all the spheres that are connected with tourism.
And despite being a real estate radio, since we kind of go around the world and kind of like try and interview people like you, we also like to talk a little bit about kind of like the way of life, and if people maybe want to go visit Phuket, what would you recommend them in terms of attractions, places to visit, places to stay, what to do?
Uh, a little bit, maybe I will tell you about the lifestyle because I didn't told you that. why it's so attractive, for example, for the people that are coming for their retire to Phuket. Uh, all the hospitals that are located at Phuket, they are very high quality, and at Phuket, in each area, you will find uh, or you or it will be some big hospital, like for example, international hospital or a Bangkok hospital, or like smaller clinic. But in each area, you will find some hospital. Also, there are many dental clinics. Many tourists there are actually coming from Hong Kong to make their taste more better, because it's much more cheaper to make all the services in local dental clinics. I will not tell you about the beauty sphere, because spa and massage, everyone I think knows that it's common in Phuket. There are thousands of small shops where you can go to make massage and so on. Um and also laboratories, you can make analysis. There's no problem at Phuket. And actually, for example, for the restaurants, when people, why it's so good to go, for example, somewhere in some restaurant in Phuket, because many expats, this is foreigners that are living in Phuket for a long period. For example, I'm expat. They are from different countries, and there are many chefs that are working in different restaurants, and the quality of the dishes that they suggest for the tourists, they're same like in their countries. That's why you can choose any restaurant you would like for any taste you prefer. For the places, what is the most exciting to see? I think the first place it would be the sea trips, Similan Islands, PP Island, James Bond Island. This is very popular locations for the tourists that are coming for just few weeks, for example, to stay. Same like diving, snorkeling. This is a common thing for the trip on these islands. And if you are living, for example, only at Phuket and you don't want to go anywhere, you can visit any attractions that are all 100 of attractions. For example, Kamala, Fantasy Show, or
Uh,
Similan. Simon Cabaret, also everyone knows that their talent is very popular of the Lady Boys and so everything that's connected with it. So everyone wants to come and see, for example, the Simon Cabaret show. Night club, this is of course Bangla Road at Patong. This is nightlife. This is nightlife for actually for adults, because there are nightclubs and striptease and something, everything like this. For the third place, I suppose this is everyone have to see the Hanuman. This is like jungle safari. You are connected. You go for the with the your guide, and he will climb you up on the jungle, and you just flying around
Pretty
the
cool.
trees over there. Elephant safari is also very exciting, I suppose, for the tourists when they're coming there, traveling around the jungle on the elephants. I suppose, what else? I suppose of course, yeah. If you are going to Phuket, you have to visit temples, Buddhist temples. They are
Oh,
also
okay.
very beautiful. Uh, Same like hospital, in each area at Phuket, you will find Buddhist temple, because Thai people, they're very religious, and they have everywhere, like there are Buddhist temples where they're going almost every day. They're going to the temple to pray to the monk.
All right, so if we can had to summarize Phuket, great healthcare, great international cuisine, great attractions, great people, and also great investments, right?
Yeah, I'm sure for this.
All right, well, perfect. It was a pleasure to have you on. It's a great pleasure. We'll put all your different contact information, website in the bio of the interview. So if people want to reach out to maybe visit Phuket or maybe actually they are looking in investing in Phuket or wanting to know more about Phuket, make sure to reach out to him. And thank you guys for listening. It's a great pleasure. Make sure you download our app, both available on the App Store and Android. And see you guys soon.